Good day, world. We are back with another episode of Talking Dog It with the Dog God, where I discuss controversial subject matter pertaining the dog game, good, bad, or indifferent. And today we want to talk about pedigrees. Are all dog registered pedigrees true? Okay, are they? Now, there's a lot of people who take pride in their pedigrees. And I understand, because when I was new to the game of dogs and papers was something to brag about, I took mine seriously too, and I would get the 6th generation scroll, you know what I'm saying, so I could see 6 generations back, how many different dogs are in the bloodline. And it's cool, it's actually fun to be able to go back and trace your dog's lineage. So I'm not going to downplay a pedigree. However, are the dogs in the pedigree true? Things that make you go, right? So, to answer that, I'm going to answer it for you right now. No, they're not. And it took me, some time in the game of dogs, breeding dogs, hoping to see certain type of genetic characteristics come out and that I didn't see, or talking to other dog breeders who, told me some tales from the past, other OG breeders that were doing certain things for certain reasons. And, I learned, as I got more seasoned into this dog game of ours, right, that unless you know that particular breeder personally, you got a chance to actually see the dogs, you believe that breeder that you're dealing with has ethics and is going to be truthful about his recipes genetically. I mean, that's the only way truly that you can know if the dogs that's in your pedigree are legit. Okay? A lot of dog men of the past, especially before this internet day, when they were just in their yard doing their own thing, had their own visions and did their own things when it came to their dogs. And it wasn't until, the selling of puppies with papers meant more money that they even worried about if their dogs was registered with a registry as far as their pedigrees goes, A lot of them did handwritten pedigrees. And if we're talking about sporting dogs, like game dogs, for example, we know for a fact that, the breeders weren't trying to give out their genetic recipes or tell people their genetic recipes, because then you might be able to get an advantage over me, you know what I mean, in the pit, in competition. So we know they deliberately left things out, left dogs out, so that you wouldn't know why their dogs are champions. You see what I'm saying? So when people put all the weight on pedigrees and they really don't know truly how them dogs were bred, because they weren't around the original makers of the bloodlines that they're following or trying to duplicate, the reality of it is that, you can't really trust the pedigrees, man. You don't put all your weight in pedigrees, like I said, unless you know for sure that the people that you are, your dogs are represented, the breeders that your dogs represent, that they were ethically truthful about the dogs that they wrote down in that ped. Okay? So, don't flatter yourself when you have a beautiful pedigree. Don't do it to yourself. Okay? If your dog the dog that you have in front of you represents what the pedigree says, leave it there. You know, leave it there for yourself. Don't try to validate the past, because, you know, that's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down, because then your pedigree would pretty much be trash. You understand? Don't glorify the past. Don't get so caught up in those pedigrees, man. Okay? Pay attention to the dogs. Now, if you're creating your own family of dogs, okay, bet on that, because you know what's in your sauce. Bet on what you produced from what you started with, and then what your offsprings are after that. Bet on that, okay? You should always have your stuff written down. And if you got your stuff with a registry, you know, boom, you know, you got your paperwork with a registry. But pedigrees from the past, don't get caught up into that. You know what I mean? That's a slippery slope of lies and intentional deception. Okay? Intentional. So, you know, there's just a lot of people that, you know, just put everything on a pedigree. You know, they want to copy pedigrees, you know, these pretty pedigrees that it says it's this dog and that dog and that dog and this dog. And, you know, you think this dog is pure, that dog is pure, that dog is pure. And, you know, like I said, especially performance dogs, bruh. You know, I know them OGs is putting whatever they need to put in them dogs to make them dogs perform. Whatever breed or breeds they needed to do. Whatever outcrosses they had to do to bring performance up to a level, they were doing it. And nobody questioned it back in those days, you know what I'm saying? Nobody questioned it, you know, because it was about performance at the end of the day. If the bulldog performed, if we're talking about pit bulls, if the pit bulls performed, then, man, who cares what they look like, right? Who cares how they was bred? But for me to make some more money on my puppies, you know, shit, yeah, I got to have paperwork, man. You know what I mean? That's just more incentive for me to get more money on my pups. So I'll put anything together on that paperwork. You know, they wasn't DNA testing back in those days. We know this. So, like I said, don't put too much weight on your peds, man. You know, it's cool to have. You know, we're not knocking it, but, you know, that's not the end-all, tell-all. Straight up and down. That's not the end-all, tell-all. Here the dogs in the background over there rustling and tussling, doing what puppies do. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. You know, there's a lot of people that just jock pedigrees. Everything is based off the pedigrees that's written, whether it be Pez Online, which we know is a lot of, you know, Decepticons on there putting whatever they want to put on Pez Online, or it's a 6, 7, 8 generation back ped. You know, don't put all your weight on that. You know, worry about your dogs, the family dogs that you produced. You know, and that's where your weight should be at. But as far as these pedigrees, are they mostly true? No. Don't play yourself. Stop playing with yourself, man. You playing with yourself. And for those of us who are real dog breeders, we know this already. You know what I'm saying? We know better. We look at the dogs. The dogs tell us what we want. Okay, not the pedigree. You know what I mean? That's extra credit, man. That's like icing on a cake that already tastes good. You see what I'm saying? The cake is already good. You know what I mean? Moist, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, tasty, the cake. And then we put that nice little icing on it. That's what a pet is, just icing on the cake. All right, world? So I just wanted to talk about that. Are pedigrees true? And you know, you should know better, okay? You should know better. Worry about the dogs that's on your yard. Worry about the dogs that's in front of you, okay? Worry about what you cooking up. Okay, make that true. You feel me? Make what you do with your dogs true. Don't worry about what the OGs in the past did. Okay, because you know that's a slippery slope, and it's honestly none of our business, man. You know what I mean, we worry about our own dogs, our own yards, our own formula, our own sauce. All right, world. Until next time, bully gods.